Imagine you've started a Minecraft world. You've progressed all the way through Iron Gear, collecting diamonds and eventually making your way into the Hellish Nether. After an arduous battle with several of the natives, you emerge back into the overworld armed with blaze rods and a smile on your face. With these blaze rods and a few ender pearls, you can craft yourself some Eyes of Ender, a seemingly magical item that leads you straight to what appears to be the home of the creatures whose pearls you obtained to craft them. Why have you made this journey? To conquer one of Minecraft's endgame tasks, to defeat the Ender Dragon and beat the game. You throw the eye into the air and it flings itself in one direction, leading you towards your next goal, the End Portal. Each piece of the frame must be filled with an Eye of Ender before you may enter, but luckily you have just enough for the task. You place an eye in each slot and enter the gateway, armed with a bow and your best sword. Soon the Ender Dragon will know their sting. You aim your bow carefully, targeting one of several End Crystals, strange objects that regenerate the Ender Dragon's health despite how much damage it takes. With each arrow released from your bow, a crystal explodes and is destroyed. Your victory is all but assured. Stab after stab, you slowly drain the dragon's health until you are but one strike away from victory. She approaches you one final time in a desperate attempt to stay alive, but your armor is simply too strong. You swing your diamond sword one final time and the beast is slain. You are victorious. A shower of green orbs rains from the sky as the dragon erupts in a grand explosion. The only way out of this strange dimension is through a portal which has just opened upon the dragon's defeat. Perched atop this portal is a strange black and purple object, an egg. But not just any egg. No, this is a dragon egg, the offspring of the very creature you worked so hard to defeat. But wait a second, why did you fight this creature? Why was it fighting you? What if I told you this dragon, this mother, was simply fighting to defend her child, her one and only offspring, and aside from herself, potentially the last of her kind? So revel in your victory. Spend your XP on a fancy new enchantment. I hope it was worth it, you monster. Right now you might be thinking, no, hold up a second. The dragon attacked me first. I just defended myself. And that may be true, but I promise you it wasn't without reason. Have you ever spawned an Ender Dragon somewhere else in the end? No? Well, here's what happens. She immediately returns to the center island, almost as if she needs to be there. But why? To protect her egg, her only child. Have you ever noticed how there's not a single other dragon in the entirety of your Minecraft world? Well, what if I told you that there's evidence to suggest there used to be many Ender Dragons, that these ancient creatures roamed the lands of their home in great numbers? Don't believe me? Here, let me show you. Minecraft is a fascinating game with beautiful scenery and truly limitless potential. Just take a look around you. There's so much to explore, so much to uncover. These worlds and some of the structures they contain somehow feel ancient. They feel as if they have secret information to impart, and if you're observant enough, you might just see or hear it. Many of Minecraft's features seem random, but when looked at closely, patterns start to emerge. Old mysteries start to unravel themselves, while new ones simultaneously spring to the forefront of your imagination. When it comes down to it, that's all Minecraft is. It's a sandbox to play and pretend within, a place where your imagination can run wild and freely. It's a place where you can dream and create to your heart's content, a place to tell your own stories. And while it may not have any official lore, that doesn't mean its inhabitants aren't trying to tell you something. So, like Minecraft has done so well at teaching us, I want you to imagine with me. Let me tell you about one of the many tales hidden within this wonderful world. In the far reaches of the End Dimension, in an expanse of endless floating islands and strange purple fauna, is the occasional building, structures that are very obviously not part of the natural formations of this dimension. Just look at them. It's obvious that they were created and not formed naturally. They're almost entirely composed of materials found within this enigmatic void space, such as endstone or chorus plants, but a few items, such as glass, aren't from the End, however, implying that whoever built these structures weren't from around here, and they brought materials from the overworld and even the Nether. Their design is very unusual, and the aesthetic doesn't really match any other structures seen throughout Minecraft. The rooms are tall and the entire structure is very vertical, slowly reaching upwards, likely to create a place to launch or park their only means of travel, the End ships. These large flying vessels mimic designs seen in the overworld, obviously resembling the many shipwrecks in Minecraft's oceans. But these ships are quite different from their overworld counterparts, and not purely just in their composition. One of the most striking features of the End ships is their figureheads. On the front of each ship is the head of an Ender Dragon. I don't think I need to explain to you how whoever built these ships acquired these. I think it's safe to say that at one time, these bat-like beasts roamed the End Dimension freely. It was their home. But whoever built these ships swiftly put an end to that. Slowly but surely, one by one, they killed the dragons, cutting off their heads and mounting them atop their vessels. Dragon heads aren't the only odd item located on each End ship, though. In the center of every skyboat is an elytra. What exactly is an elytra? In real life, an elytra is each of the 2 wing cases of a beetle. But there aren't exactly any beetles in Minecraft. The only creatures even similar are silverfish and endermites. So what do elytra, or the correct singular form of the word elytron, come from? I think they were crafted from the very flesh of, you guessed it, an ender dragon. Most likely its scales. Right now you're probably thinking, but why are the dragon heads so much smaller than the main ender dragons? That's easy. The heads are from the males, and as we've already established, the dragon that the player fights is a female. There are many examples of real-life animal species where the females are significantly larger than their male counterparts. So I think that whoever built these ships killed all of the other ender dragons, cut off their heads, mounted them on their transportation, and sliced away pieces of their flesh or scales. These pieces were then formed into elytron. But how exactly did these ships move across the sky? Well, we all know that equipping an elytra gives you the ability to glide through the air, but what if they have other unknown properties as well? Maybe they were used as a fuel source to help power these boats. It seems like at some point somewhere down the line, another group intervened and created the End Crystals, which harness a strange and arcane magic, the same magic that enchantment tables use. Their only purpose is to store the dragon's life essence within them. If she were to be injured, they'd heal her. If she were to die, they had the power to resurrect her. This particular group of conservationists took pity on the creatures and saved the last of their kind, the only female dragon left. I think the reason the main End Island is so isolated is because other islands around it were removed to further separate the dragon from her would-be killers. After they were satisfied that the Ender Dragon was safe, they sealed all portals to the End, locking the creature away in hopes that it may find peace. If you kill the dragon, you'll notice the sudden appearance of an End Gateway, a portal that transports you far beyond the void surrounding the main End Island and into the strange land of floating yellow chunks and odd structures. It's likely that an incredible span of time has passed since the death of the other dragons, and any real threat to her is long gone. So in the event of her defeat, these portals will open, their creators inviting you to step through, likely in hopes that you'll see the evidence before you and perhaps take pity on the creature. So next time you spawn the dragon, maybe just leave her alone. Hasn't she suffered enough? After all that, many questions still remain. Who built these structures? Who killed the Ender Dragons and why? What is powerful enough to effectively create black holes encased in bedrock, the strongest material in the Minecraft world? While I may not have all the answers, I do know this. These lingering remnants are from someone or something that existed far before we roamed the hills of this land. Surely those that left these clues behind are long gone and far older than you and I. I know this is a little different than what I usually do, but this isn't the end of my Halo content. I just wanted to try something new. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, hit that subscribe button with notifications on, and please share this video. I need all the help I can get. Alright, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play some Minecraft.